Today's lesson will focus in on the phases of the moon. Let's review. Moon is Earth's closest celestial neighbor. In the diagram below, we see the sun is on the right, and every moon position shows the illuminated part on the right. The moon revolves around the Earth in 27.3 days. It rotates on its axis every 27.3 days. So the same side of the moon is always facing the Earth. The moon's revolution causes the phases because only the side facing the sun is illuminated, and we see varying amounts of the illuminated portion as phases. When those amounts are increasing each night, we call that waxing, and when they're decreasing each night, we call that waning. During its orbit around the Earth, in order to visualize how the moon would appear to us, we place ourselves on the Earth looking up at the moon at each position. The line I've drawn here is what I call the line of sight. From this position, a person would not see any illuminated portion of the moon. This would be the new moon phase right here. At this position right here, a little bit of the moon is lit up on the right-hand side. This, because the moon is curved, would appear as a crescent. Since the moon is going to be increasing in light, we call this period of time up here the waxing period, and this would be called a waxing crescent. At this position right here, it appears as if the moon is lit up to the right and darkened to the left in equal proportions. To an observer on Earth, the moon would appear to be half lit up. And since we can only truthfully see a quarter, this is called the first quarter, it is also a quarter of the trip around the Earth. When we get to this position right here, most of the right-hand side of the moon is lit up, but the left has an area of darkness. We're still in the waxing portion here, and this phase is called a gibbous. It's going to result in a moon that looks slightly less than perfectly circular. When we get to this position right here, the moon is fully lit up as viewed from the Earth. That would be our full moon phase. When you get to position 6, looking from this direction, you can see that most of the left-hand side is lit up, with a slight portion on the right not lit up. At this time, now the moon will begin to lose illumination each night, so it's in its waning period, and this would be called a waning gibbous. Right here, looking up, the observer notices that the left-hand side is lit up, the right-hand side is in the darkness. This would result in the moon looking like this. Since we're on the circular portion, we're only looking at a quarter of the moon, and it's in the last quarter here. The name of this is called the last quarter. When we get over here and look up at the moon, more of the moon's left-hand side is lit up than the right, but just a small portion of the left-hand side is lit up compared to the right. Because of this, we'll see a crescent moon. We're in the waning phases as the moon loses illumination each night, and this would be called a waning crescent. With that being said, you can take a look at the assignment for today. It's called Phases of the Moon, and each one of these is a picture of the moon in its different phases. Your assignment is to fill in the correct order in which these terms fit in with these pictures down below. On the back side, starting right here, you must do the same. Here are the names for the different phases of the moon, and what I'd like you to do is to put those names into the places you see down below here. Okay, good luck with your homework. Thank you so much.